God bless all the good men and women at CUFI. Thank you for being part of this gathering. Thank you for your incredible leadership. Thank you to my dear friends, John and Diana Hagee. Thank you for your leadership, mobilizing millions of believers in the United States and all across the world to stand with our dear friend and ally, the nation of Israel. You know, when I was first elected to the Senate 8 years ago, I resolved to be the strongest defender of Israel in the entire U.S. Senate. And I've worked every day to fulfill that commitment. And I got to say, in particular, the last 3.5 years in the Trump administration, we have seen such an extraordinary improvement in terms of our relationship, our friendship with Israel. And it's hard to find any foreign policy area in which there is a sharper change, a sharper divide from the Obama administration, which over and over again undermined Israel, tried to attack Prime Minister Netanyahu, tried to really weaken our friendship and alliance, to the Trump administration. Two decisions in particular that I want to point to that I think are critically important. The first is the decision to move the American embassy to Jerusalem, the once and eternal capital of Israel. That decision was a big battle within the Trump administration. The beginning of the administration, both the State Department and the Defense Department opposed moving our embassy. Here's what they argued. They argued if we move our embassy, it's going to infuriate the enemies of Israel. It's going to make them mad, and it's going to make them mad at us. I'll tell you, I engaged vigorously, directly, repeatedly with the president, taking on state, taking on defense, pushing back, pointing out the enemies of Israel, they already hate us, they already hate Israel. And that what was critical about moving the embassy is that it would provide clarity to America's friends and clarity to America's enemies, that we stand resolutely with Israel. We will not be backed down by the New York Times, by public opinion, by the criticism of the global media. Well, thankfully, the president made the right decision. He agreed with me, and he moved the embassy to Jerusalem. I had the incredible privilege of being there the day that embassy was opened. It happened to be, it was the 70th anniversary of the date of the creation of the modern state of Israel. And I got to say, it was beautiful. I've been to Israel many times. I have never seen such joy. I've never seen such celebration. People literally dancing in the streets. I remember visiting with Israelis, visiting with Americans who had come for that opening. One woman in particular was a Holocaust survivor. And she looked at me with tears running down her face. She said, I never thought I would live to see this day. What an amazing testament. Presidents of both parties, Republicans and Democrats, had promised to move our embassy to Jerusalem. But finally, this time, we did it. You know, the biggest reason that I told the president moving the embassy was important is that it would also draw a line in the sand that we would be willing to stand up and defend Israel's national security and to defend Israel against her and our enemies. And I do not think it was coincidental that the very week we opened our embassy in Jerusalem is also the same week that the president announced he was withdrawing from the catastrophic Obama-Iran nuclear deal. That was the second national security decision I referenced, and it is the most important national security decision made in this administration. Once again, there was a fight within the administration. In fact, the battle lines were identical. Both the State Department and the Defense Department argued we should stay in Obama's disastrous Iran deal. They argued vigorously for staying in the deal, and once again, I made the case vigorously, aggressively, directly to the president. Pulling out of this deal is the most important thing we can do to defend America's security and to defend Israel's security. Sending over $100 billion to the Ayatollah Khamenei, who chants death to America, who chants death to Israel. There is a reason the Ayatollah refers to Israel as the little Satan and America as the great Satan, and giving the resources to the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism to use those resources to kill Americans, to kill Israelis. It was foolish. It was catastrophically wrong. Well, thankfully, the president agreed with me again, overruled both his State Department and the Defense Department. We pulled out of that deal, and since that deal, I have been steadily pushing at each and every stage to increase the pressure on the mullahs and the Ayatollah in Iran. That maximum pressure should mean maximum pressure. The improvements we've seen over the last 4 years in our relationship between America and Israel have been enormous. Prime Minister Netanyahu is a good friend. I've been blessed to spend a great deal of time with him. And today, thanks to the leadership of CUFI, thanks to the leadership of each of you, America's friendship and alliance with Israel is stronger than ever. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your advocacy on Capitol Hill. Thank you for going and visiting Republicans and going and visiting Democrats and making clear that America's interest and Israel's interest are intertwined. And thank you, finally, for your prayers. This is a gathering of prayer warriors. This is a gathering of men and women who spend time in the Word, who spend time on your knees, praying for Israel, praying for America, praying for our leaders, that we stand strong. Those prayers are needed at every time, but the prayers are needed today because each of you was put in this place like Esther for such a time as this. Thank you for your leadership. God bless you.